Hi, I'm Nyesha McCauley, and you're watching accesstv.org.
I don't wanna piss you off, and I don't wanna make you mad, but it seems like when I talk to you, the words get in the way. I don't know what to do, and I don't know what to say.
Hi, this is LORRE, and welcome to another episode of The Relationship Show, where we talk about everything and anything that's related to being involved with one another. It doesn't have to be between a man and a woman or a husband and a wife. It can be about anything that comes to mind. It's all about relating to one another. And what we do is we take your questions and we get them on the air and we answer those questions because we care about what you're thinking. If we can add a little bit of peace of mind to whatever decision you have to make, or if you're looking for some deep insight from us, you've come to the right channel. That's visit www.accesstv.org, channel 7, and you can send your questions to us, to the executive producer, Nyesha McCauley, or if you want to send them to us directly at therelationshipshow@yahoo.com, and we'll do everything in our power to get those questions answered. I'd like to do a shout out to my family and friends out there. Thank you for the unconditional support. You have made this show a great success, and I just want to thank you for that. And another aspect of why this show is so successful is my wonderful, charming, intelligent, brilliant, strategically positioned, if that is a phrase.
Wow.
Arjo Wench of All Politics is Loco.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Couldn't think of any more.
Oh, I could have said a heck of a lot more, but you were kind of getting a little shifty. So I had to just hold back on some of them. I'll save them for the next show. How's that?
All right. Excellent. Excellent.
Yes, but thank you for joining the show.
Absolutely.
It's always a pleasure to have you on.
It's always great to be here and
Thank
try
you.
to stump the Arjo.
Well, I think we got some good questions, Arjo. Okay, so here we'll start off with our first question. Dear Lord, my husband is a talented writer, and I've always been amazed in how he can capture a moment clear with words, visually and emotionally. I know he's frustrated at work selling carpets. He wants to quit his job and focus on writing full-time. He has sold some small writing and poetry, and he thinks he can sell more once he's devoted all of his time to writing. How do I tell him? I think it's a stupid idea. A pipe dream, and words cannot fill us up like food or pay the rent. I want to support his dreams, but writing from empty words and promises. What's so funny? There are a lot of people out there that actually are writers, you know, and you got to start somewhere. You got to start building your memoirs and building your publications and so forth to build that credibility. So when you hit that big job, they have a lot of you have a lot of published writing.
But I'm laughing because when I decided that I was going to become an author, people said the same thing.
Oh!
So, and I wrote 3 books, working on book number 4.
Nice!
So that's why I'm laughing
Arjo!
because I've been exactly where he is. And I say, don't let people stop you while you're in between selling carpets. You know, customers are the greatest thing to write about.
Oh, wow.
You know, customers come in and pick out, you know, different kind of carpets, or how they pick out their carpets, or what kind of carpets they pick out.
Right.
I don't know what his storyline is or what he tries to write. Like, each of my books are different.
Okay.
One is a children's book, one is a story about my mom, and the other one is like this political fictitious character, maybe. And, you know, then I have my last one that is going to be, you know, probably my strongest writing yet, Behind the Municipal Door, coming up, you know, for 8 years of experience at City Hall. So, I mean, I say, you know, go ahead and do the carpet because it pays the bills, but don't forget about your writing.
Okay, so what you're saying is that to do both for the time being until that becomes a income producer. Once the money starts coming in, then they can, determine that the writing is
Yeah,
the route to
marketing
go.
is going to be the big thing because
Right.
if he has to do carpet, then he can't be out and do market.
Right, and it
so he's
costs
gonna
money
need somebody
to
to
publish a
market
book.
for him. But people can market on percentage. So if you go out and market my book for X number of dollars, then I pay you X number of percentage of what
Oh,
you
I
have me to
didn't know
market.
that.
So that way you don't have to pay in advance.
Very good to know. And so what kind of advice would you give, I'm assuming it's, the wife, to say, hang in there, give her some assurity? What would you say?
Yeah, I'm like, as long as he's still, helping pay the bills, he's still going to work, then don't kill his dream.
Okay. Okay, great. And we do believe that. I mean, focus on what's truly important, and that's being supportive of him. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with saying, babe, I'm a little concerned about where it's going to take us short term, because short term means we need to strategize how we're going to position ourselves financially. But long term could be a very wonderful thing if you guys have come to an agreement that we'll spend, we'll put our thoughts together, we'll decide what we can do so that he can continue doing his writing and maybe carpeting, or maybe take the chance that maybe he could just do it full time and go to specific people that can kind of put him under his wing and bring him there. I don't know. I mean, there's different opportunities to pursue it in terms of pursuing it, but don't squash his dreams. There's nothing wrong with that and what he wants to do. And there are a lot of good writers. Talk about, was it J.K. Rowling or whatever from the Harry Potter series, how she was writing in the diners and just writing
see what
books.
I'm saying? Exactly.
Her books.
Exactly.
Is it J. Cowlings or whatever her name is? I don't know. But, maybe Jay Stan, the executive producer, can look it up so we know for sure who she is. But she wrote the Harry Potter series, which
exactly.
obviously everybody knows about Harry Potter and how it took off. It's a phenomenon. She did it with an idea and believing in herself. So don't squash his dream. You don't know where it could take him and you together. But thank you for the idea, Arjo. My 30th high school reunion is coming up. Go class of 1984. The Buzzing Hornets. Buzz. I haven't seen some of the people since we graduated. I want to return and show them how good I look and how I'm not the girl they've been talking about. I've never been married. I asked a friend of mine whose husband I think is good looking to take me to the reunion like we're going together. My friend doesn't mind. She actually is the one who suggested that I take him since I don't have a good man to take me. The tickets for the event is $45 per person. So I asked her for the money. Why? Why?
I don't know. Go alone.
So I asked for the money to pay for the ticket that includes 3-course meal, 2 drinks, and dancing till 2 a.m. That's a fair price for all that you can get. My friend says I should pay since he's going as a favor to me, and it's not like we're really married. Paying $90 is a lot of money. Plus, I have to rent a car since mine doesn't match how good I look, and it's old and sometimes it doesn't start.
She have other issues other than that date.
And I have to buy a new dress, buy him a tie to wear that matches my dress so people know we're a couple. Since I'm paying for all that, I think it is fair he pays for the ticket to the 3-course dinner.
I agree with the wife. If he's going to go,
oh my goodness,
then you should pay. Forget all of the car that got to look the same color and the tie stuff, okay. But she have other issues other than just can't find a date. Take a girlfriend with you.
I know, it's
rather than somebody's
ridiculous.
husband. Take another girl with you.
I know, because this is how she says it. Since I'm paying for all of that, I think it's fair he pays for the ticket to the 3-course dinner of either fish, chicken, or pasta. Am I being wrong to ask him to pay?
Yes.
The big Y-E-S.
Yes.
Loser.
Yeah.
Let me tell
Don't
you
ask
something.
him to pay.
He's doing you a favor.
Absolutely.
If you're willing to rent a car, maybe you shouldn't rent a car. Maybe you should take his car, borrow his car, but pay the ticket. Because that's the last thing you want to do is jeopardize that friendship that you have with the wife, your friend who graciously offered her husband for this event.
Yeah, I don't know about that one either.
Oh, what's wrong with that? If you're friends, you should be able to do that.
Girl, bye.
What is this? Ain't no property. My thing is this: if you can't have your man, who your man's gonna come home to you. Your man sleeps in your bed. So what's the big idea that?
But why she need to fake it though? Why you want to fake like this is your date when you know it's your friend's husband?
I agree.
The whole thing is a big fake. Why?
I agree.
Go by yourself.
Why? I mean, I think she should be straight up honest and say, "I'm taking this is a friend."
Go by yourself.
Well, maybe she doesn't want to go by herself. Maybe she wants to go.
Take a girlfriend.
I guess that's an option. But my thing is this. obviously she has a lot to prove. Maybe she was picked on in high school. Maybe she was the class whatever. And now she has something to prove because look at me, I've arrived, but you haven't arrived.
But you're faking it.
You're faking it. You're not being true to yourself. I think you should just as to Arjo's point,
Take a
I still
girlfriend
think
or go
there's
alone.
nothing wrong with her taking a friend, of whether it be her sister, girlfriend's husband or what, but be honest about it.
But then look at this. In the course of the night, she's supposed to be with him, right? That's her date.
But
Now, what if guys ask her to dance, and then she's out talking to other guys? So then, doesn't it look like that's not really your date, or either you're cheating on your date?
That's why I'm
You know,
saying.
it's just
I
faking it.
agree. So
Don't
that's
fake.
why I'm saying that she should come out and say, a friend. This is a friend, not a boyfriend. No one intimate. We're just friends. In fact, if you're real confident in yourself, just say, "Look, I didn't have a date, but my girlfriend allowed me to take her husband."
Boo.
Boo.
Boo. Go by yourself.
You're like, go by yourself.
Because you're going to have more fun.
Maybe or maybe not. She got issues. There's no doubt about it.
No, she does have issues.
You got issues, but we're here to talk it through with you because understand you gotta love yourself first. And it seems like you got a lot of hang-ups that you want to kind of just
cover up and mask and pretend. Too much pretending.
I agree. So I think she needs to be true to herself. Hey, that's concerning. But anyways, let us know how it goes. But personally, we think you shouldn't bring the friend's husband. And second of all, we think that, although I'm sorry, I'm torn. I don't really care if you bring your friend's husband, but I think you need to be honest about it. And Arjo's saying, no, bring a girlfriend, have fun. Don't bring a man that you're not with. Have fun. So you have to decide what you're comfortable with. If you're really heck bent on bringing this man, do not put on this fictitious...
Then pay for the ticket.
Pay for the dog.
Pay for the ticket.
Pay for the ticket and shut the front door.
Kick rocks.
All right. How much time? We got 3 minutes. We got 1 to get it in. Okay, I heard you mention being married a time or two on the show. My boyfriend has asked me to marry him, and I agreed with some conditions. That we go to marriage counseling, I see his credit report, we sign a prenuptial agreement. My boyfriend is okay with conditions and understands the importance of this information. My mother says, however, I'm being haughty, and I should be lucky that a man would even want me. I think I'm being sensible. My question to both of you is, if you have to get remarried, what would you require to know about your future husband to do to make it last longer from learning from the best?
I think the most important thing is that he loves me, I love him.
Agreed.
That we have mutual agreement on things that
Finances
they're going
and
to
stuff.
happen inside the house. His, past, like, I don't know, who has great history?
Nobody.
Who has great financial history when you less than...
Okay, but then it makes you wonder, if she's so bent on making sure there's a prenup, that you see the credit report, it might be about the money.
Yeah, that's what I'm
sorry.
saying.
It may be about more than just him. It may be about what can you do for me? And I have a problem with
you should be
that.
able to do some things that complement each other.
Right.
But I don't care about your credit report.
I
At 60
agree.
years old, I'm not worried about credit.
I know.
House in the car and we good.
Okay.
You know?
I agree. But I'm just saying, people nowadays, unless they're caught up, like I said, if they're looking for that social, that comfort or whatever, like with the retirement, whatever, I don't know. But
security if you kill over and die.
that's right. So they know that, okay, I got it covered. But she's telling we signed a prenup, so she must have something to offer. Like she must have a nice.
Well, maybe they both have, or maybe it's her. She wants to protect what she has in case he decides to leave.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm in favor. Honestly, this sounds crazy, and you may tell me, Lori, kick rocks. If you have established your own little something, and you have young kids, and he has established something, and he has kids, and you've been putting money away because of their education or whatever, and then you guys decide to come together, 2 things. Either you can sign a prenup to say, look, what's yours is yours, mine is mine, because I got to look out for my kids, right? It's nothing personal. It's just being practical because, love and hate, it's a fine line. You love them today, tomorrow you have issues, and you're going to the divorce court and you want half.
Yeah, prenup is okay, but what's up with the credit report?
I don't know. But first of all, do people do that?
I guess they do. She said she wanted to do it.
But
I don't know how.
What do you expect to see?
I don't know. Unless they're young and they want to make
put-
an investment somewhere and they want to invest in something and she want to make sure that his credit is good because maybe hers is not.
That's a mess. Let me tell you something. I'm going to break it down to you.
Break it down, Lori.
I'm going to break it down. And what I'm saying is, For you to ask for, I think that's great with marriage counseling if he's in agreement, because if a guy goes because of you, it's not going to be a very successful, beneficial counseling session. He's going to say or do whatever, go through the motions, but it's not going to be something he can walk away with some understanding, a deeper understanding. So I think you should need to make sure that he's in agreement with that. A credit report, I have issues with that because it really isn't about credit. If you have a relationship that you're building on, take aside the financial piece. I obviously feel that you have to come to some understanding about how to handle your finances. That doesn't require a credit report. What it requires is an understanding about how we spend our money, how we save our money, and where do we go from there. Now, you have something to offer and you're fearful that he may take advantage of that. Or try to go after that. That's a different issue that you need to be honest with and sit
Why
down
would you
with
marry
them.
that person?
Right. And why would you be so bent on making sure that, you sign this prenup? There's more to it that you're not opening up, and I'm really disappointed that we couldn't capture that in this question. We're out of time. We'll be right back. We'll take a commercial break, and we will talk more on the relationship show. So stay tuned. We'll talk to you soon.
I'm attorney Jeffrey Dressler. Learning happens every day, even in summer. Hartford Public Library and Hartford Public Schools, in association with Mega Education, present a Summer of Discovery. Join celebrations of learning each week at a different Hartford Public Library branch. Ice cream for all and a computer tablet for a lucky boy and girl every week. See Hartford Public Library website and follow the summer sun, because learning happens every day, even in summer.
Of All Politics is Local, and I love watching the commercials on accesstv.org. There's a lot of good shows and a lot of good history with these shows that just show how well and how much the production company has grown and continues to grow with some great programming. So before we get back to the next question, another question, we were kind of talking about what do you call it, Beyonce and Jay-Z. Yeah, we were talking about prenups and so forth, but more specifically, I'm digressing and talking about, just relationships in general. I don't care how much money you have, and it kind of ties in with this. Here you have Jay-Z and Beyonce, right? They have everything in the world. They got more money than they can know what to do with, right? But there's no guarantee. And from what I'm hearing is that
they still have relationship problems.
Absolutely, they're struggling. There's no guarantee. I think the one thing that everyone needs to understand, that a relationship is successful as much as you want it to be successful. So if you are passionate with that person and you respect that person, you love that person for who they are, not what they represent, not the kind of money they bring to the table, then I think that's going to be a long-term relationship than someone who has all the money and all the bank account in the world. Would you agree, Arjun?
No, I agree, because at the end of the day, they say money can't buy love.
No.
You're either emotionally attached or you're not.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, that's what you want. You want somebody that's going to be there when there's good times as well as bad times. For sickness and for health and whatever. I can't even say. All the time. Just all the time. And if you have that, then you're in it like Flynn, and you'll never have to worry about that person because they love you for you and what's in here.
Dirty socks and all.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so we're going to go to our next question, which is, I am a widower with 3 children, 5, 7, and 9. My wife passed away from breast cancer. It was a quick and heroic fight. My girls are young right now, and they remember their mom and can recall things she would say and do. What will happen when they are getting married, like 15, 20 years from now? How I ensure that their mother is there in memory of her, so that they can have a joy. Also, in the matter of time, I wonder if I will remember the things that made her so special. You'll always remember someone, even when they pass. You know, I mean, I hear stories of people who say sometimes they used to call someone all the time, and then when they're not there, they still have that desire to call. I mean, it's always going to be a part of that person.
Right. You just have to find a place to put those feelings, because like you said, they're always going to be there, because you're always going to have those memories of that individual. Maybe that's the time that you need to put pen to paper and just write all that stuff down. That's a great idea.
And even to the point of teaching your children to journal. You know, buy them little journals, and then maybe they can start putting their thoughts down of how much they miss their mom, and if mom was here, what would I want? And then maybe you can kind of share that with them, because they are going to need someone to fill that void. And if you decide to remarry, which is a possibility, that may also help your children come to terms with being young girls and understanding that your life continues. Even though you lost your mom and you loved your mom dearly, you still have to move on. And sometimes talking to another woman versus dad may be able to fill some areas where you're lacking, you know.
No, the one thing is true. The other thing is you have to be careful not to build up and put mom on a pedestal so that nobody else can measure up.
Oh, good
so
point.
If you're constantly talking about, you know, mom, 5 years from now, mom is gone, you have built her up so much to a pedestal that if dad finds somebody else, they can never measure up to mom.
That's a good point.
So you got to, you know, kind of balance it out.
That's a very good point. I didn't even think of that. But what we want you to do is just really just embrace one another. I mean, you sound like wonderful girls. And while it seems like you're still going through that mourning process with your wife, just keep in mind that they need you more than the memories of their mom. And what you need to understand is it's going to take time for them to come to a place of acceptance, and it may be difficult. So even when they decide 15, 20 years from now, like you mentioned, they decide to get married, it may actually be a lot easier than you think. Right now, you're in the throes of just losing your wife, and your kids are still mourning her. So you just got to be patient. It's a process. Time heals all. And at least acknowledge the fact that they're going through this. I really think the journaling idea is a great idea, because it gives the girls an opportunity to try to come to a place within themselves to work those things through.
And if they want mom to be present at the wedding ceremonies, there's always slideshows, you know,
yeah, but
slide
people are gonna be crying.
pictures. Well, people cry at weddings anyway.
But they're going to be crying a lot more.
No, be like, Mom, here we are getting married.
Oh, but then pictures of the mom saying, hi, you know, the little movie camera. My mom's like, come here, carrying the baby. Oh, say hi. That's too much.
I'm just
okay,
saying.
I'm breaking this down. That's too much.
It depends on how they want to remember.
Absolutely.
How they want to remember mom.
I agree. I think that there should be, I think the video idea is a great idea, but it's just got to be very careful, because that's a time where it's very vulnerable for them, that they lost their mom, and when those memories come back and their wedding day, it could bring them back versus moving them on. Have you thought about that, Arjo?
No, both. That's why I said you got to be very careful about how you do it.
You're right.
So
have fun working this through. Whatever decision you make with your mom, in the memories of your mom, you know, we know that you love your kids and you're going to do the right thing. So we wish you much success.
Yeah, then your other wife is going to be there too, so at the wedding.
Okay, Arjo.
Well, you said he's young and he might get remarried, so she got to understand that this is a part of the whole process.
It is, but it's a painful process.
It is painful.
And so you need a woman that's also very secure in herself, because if she's thinking she's going to come in as the new mommy, you got to be careful, because kids are very loyal to their parents, respective parents. So I hear the ice cream truck outside.
We should go get ice cream.
I know. We should have the executive producer give me a chocolate eclair.
Uh-oh, he's gone.
Oh, he feels like he heard us and went,
He drove by quick.
Okay, so we have time for 2 more questions. We're going to skip that because I don't even know the answer to that. I just saw it. I was like, whoa, let me prepare for that one because I don't know the answer. I mean, it's more of a historical kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I work hard, and while I'm working, I do more than what is required of me. And in on time, stay late. See that all my projects are done. I take 2 vacations a year, one at Christmas and the second one with my wife and kids to see the in-laws and hit some water parks, just driving. While on my last vacation, I received some text messages asking about some things. Things my boss should know the information and the other people on my team as well. I answered it. Then another message came in. By the end of my 2 weeks, I was almost working again. Now it is vacation time again. I leave in 10 days to visit the in-laws and do some camping out in the trail. How do I basically tell them to leave me the hell alone? They have enough of my time already. Thanks. Tired of being tired of working.
How about not answering the phone?
I agree. I bet that's definitely an option.
Yeah. don't answer the
Or
phone.
just say, you know what, I'm going to be in a no-zone area. We're going to be up in the woods somewhere. I will not have access to my phone. So unfortunately, I will not be able to receive your messages.
Or leave messages. I will get back to you. Don't say when.
Right. But it sounds to me that might be the culture of the place. That's the impression I'm getting. Without knowing
but
the details.
technically that's against the law because
Oh.
you can't charge me for vacation days if I'm working. So if you're calling me while I'm on vacation, I'm not on vacation. I'm working off site.
That's correct.
That's different
That's-
than being on vacation. So call me. There's a labor law against it.
Ooh, okay. But you know, it's almost like that unspoken. Yeah, it's a labor law, but you want to still work here, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
So in that case, don't answer the phone.
Okay, so you think don't answer the phone. Okay, that's an option. The other option is simply letting them know up front. You know what? I don't spend a lot of time with kids. Do you mind? I just need some down. To be honest is the best answer. Tell them straight up. I would prefer not to have to answer text. I really want to spend time with my
Unless it's
family.
an emergency.
And you know they can
Because there's
justify
some of
everything.
those times that you do get those emergencies, haven't been there, done that. There's sometimes that there's just some little thing, like some knowledge that you have that somebody else might not have, and they just need that to
Right.
get that thing fixed.
I agree.
You say, okay, and I will be charging you for those 2 hours when I get back.
Wow, you're tough. You're really
Volunteer is what I do for free. Work is what I do for money.
tough. Ooh, wow. She should have a bumper sticker saying that. Oh my gosh. Okay, we got 6 minutes. This is for you. This is Dear Arjo.
Oh.
My grandson is 19 years old. He's working with me during summer break from college. He attends KCC majoring in marketing. Well, last night on his way home from work, the police stopped him. They asked him if he had any guns or drugs or anything illegal. My grandson denied it. They asked him to get out of the car. The police searched the car, and of course they found nothing. They let him go. He is so upset. He
should be.
He kept asking me, why did they do this to me? Why? I didn't do anything wrong. I asked him, did they give him a ticket? Did he get their names? He said no information. What can I do? What the police did was not right at all. Who can I call? Angry Granny.
Yeah, but the problem is the thing that she said. Did you get the name? Did you get the badge number? Do you know where it was? So if he doesn't have that kind of information, you're not going to call the police department and say, hey, can you tell me who was patrolling Sigourney Street at, 3 a.m. in the morning because my grandson got stopped? They're not going to tell you that information. So when a cop pull you over, the first thing that your eyes should go to is right to his chest and his or her chest and get that badge number and then check the time.
Okay.
Because that way you can pinpoint exactly who it was and what time it was that the incident occurred.
That's a good point. I mean, but I'm sure he has good enough memory to know what time that, when the event occurred, right? So I'm sure they have something in the logs of who was working that beat at that.
How many people worked that
Oh,
time?
that's true. That's true.
So you need the badge number.
The badge number. So, okay, he doesn't have the badge number, so everything's out the door. He can't get the support he needs.
They're not going to be able to track down who the person was.
He can't make a
He
formal.
didn't get a ticket.
He can't make a formal complaint to the police department.
Against who?
Just in general, citing a concern, getting it in writing. So if it happens again, hey,
If who does it again?
just make a general complaint. Just say I've been unjustly, stopped.
By who?
Yeah, about that.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You need to know who it was, what time it was, what street you were on. Otherwise, you can't find out who the person is. They're not going to voluntarily tell you who
Right.
that was.
Oh well, that's too
You know,
bad.
and it's the unfortunate reality that happens with too many of our kids. Just because he was a young person of color driving a car, depending on what time of night it was, the police officer just thought that he had probable cause to pull him over to stop him for anything. Could have been windows tinted too dark.
I know.
Could have been music too loud. Could have been he swerved instead of putting on the turn signal, went across to the other lane. Because people doesn't realize that you have to do that stuff. Or I'm at the stoplight and there's a sign to my right that says no turn on red. People are blowing behind me.
Right.
I just reach out the window and go, point to the sign.
Wow.
Like it says no turn
Don't
on
you
red.
hate
Why
that?
are you blowing the horn at me?
Oh, that bothers me.
Yeah, why are you blowing the horn? You can't read? I'm like,
A lot of times
point
people
it to the side.
Right. People disregard
Stop,
that too. They
bro.
disregard that.
Yeah, they might disregard it, but see, Arjo don't have those kind of driver's license. I have the driver's license that says, woo, 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 Arjo went through the light.
That's
woo, woo,
right,
woo.
that's right.
I can't break laws. As soon as I even think about breaking the law, I don't have that kind of. So no. Wow. Unfortunately, it's really bad that happened to him, but next time, and I hope there's not a next time, but for people in the future, if you get stopped or pulled over by a police officer, take your eyes right to their chest and then check the time.
Wow. Thank you so much on that question to this viewer, and a great answer, Arjo. Thank you very much, and we're out of time. So we just want to thank you for tuning in to the Relationship Show. And remember this, the most important part of a relationship is loving yourself first. We'll see you next time.
Wanna piss you off, and I don't wanna make you mad, but it seems like when I talk to you, the words get in the way.